Good morning, friends. This is Vishal Mewada once again in front of you. And as you all know that we have different kinds of topic on daily basis, which basically to improve our communication skills and to remove the fear from our mind so that we can freely speak in front of others. So today our topic is gonna quite educational and related to the React, which currently the course I'm doing. So I just want to take it quite bit educational, and in this topic, we're gonna cover that what is context API, how why we are use context API or not context API, but why we use context auth or context terminology in React, and why we do not use state or prop at every place. We're gonna discuss in this particular video. So let's get started. Don't waste our time. Firstly, we have to understand this why React is little bit different from JavaScript, because that suppose that if I just want to pass something from the parent to the child, then it is easily I can it in JavaScript I can easily pass it in various form, but in React to pass the thing I need a certain kind of specific things which is called use state. Use state means use that particular state to derive or to assess that particular variable. This is what actually use state is. Suppose that if I just want to increase the counting value, so firstly, what I can do, I can just in JavaScript, I will just create an event listener and just give the button click and then recall the function and just provide it a value, particular specific value that after clicking on the button, it will increase the count by one. It will happen by just a function, but in React this things become a quite different. What the difference is? The difference is a little bit that to where I am calling adding an event listener and just recalling the function callback function. Instead of this I have to I have to just declare a use state. In the use state, I have to declare the initial value and a dispatcher function. The dispatcher function will take care of that particular value and the value which you have given in the form of use state. Firstly, you have to derive the initial state of that particular value, that the value will be null or maybe something. So after declaring the value maybe null or whatever it is that, and the same thing process, same thing. I have to in JavaScript I have to store that particular thing in an array or in an array of object whatever. So same thing in the React we have to store these variables. Uh, Again using use state in the curly bracket use state, and there are declare the array format variable or declare the value as an empty array, then start storing this value. So these are the things which are basically used in React to pass any kinds of variables and use it. But if I just want to use this counter value on some another patch, so what I used to do, I used to passing the value in the form of props. Props is basically a child functionality which React give us or provide us. And if I am working on a large project, then I have to derive that particular props on my every page. In my every page, just declare it again and again and giving and assigning the value again and again. So to get relief from that, the one basically a very beautiful things is introduced by React is what? Firstly is that context. The word context means use context. Why I am emphasizing on this is that uh, create context and auth context. Use context is basically a terminology by the help of this, I don't have to declare or pass the props property in my every page again and again. Instead of this, where I need the child property, I just recall I just declare those property in a particular file called context AP, context something .jsx, and inside this I will give all the functionality and auth provider or void context provider, whatever the syntax and the syntax which is needed. And I just declare that if this particular values is happen, I will just declare it inside as a children. And whenever I need this all this value, I will just recall it by just giving a context that suppose that I have declared the variable in the name const is auth is equals to create context auth. Then I will just pass all the auth is all dot provider. Inside the provider, I will just declare the children. And what I can do right now is that suppose that I need that information inside my login page. Then what I can do, I can just basically do is auth is equals to use context is auth. Then import, I have to import it from the React. Import is auth from React and give the location of this. Sorry, sorry for the interference, inconvenience. So basically, I can pass the property of it and just derive that particular value in it. And by the help of this, it will ease my work and it will ease to do the functionality in a better way. Thank you very much. I hope you will understand it and you will like it.